Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies thereof. Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down to the bottom.
So there was some Arnold news. Supposedly, like some Christopher McQuarrie is finally going to do a Conan movie.
Yeah, okay.
With Arnold's involvement. I imagine it almost would have to be like a flashback or like a he's just the king in the castle ordering other people what to do.
Yeah, I've got to believe it.
The King Conan movie is supposedly moving forward. I'm not sure that I want that to happen.
No, I really want this to stop. I really want action movie stars who are way past their primes, not like Hollywood past their primes, but like literally like
you're an 80-year-old man.
Right. It's just like, just stop, please.
Like, do you really need are you hurting for money?
No, I
he
mean,
can't
obviously
be.
not.
I'm sure he's been wise with his, and he had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, he's a genius financial guy.
Yeah. So there's no way he needs this because he's out there talking about, and I want to be having involvement in a new Predator movie. And I want to be involved in a new Terminator movie. And it's like dude,
no, just please stop. Like,
or be involved in something that's not just sullying.
I mean,
your old like greatest hits.
Yeah, for a while he was trying to do other things and branch out, and like, didn't he do like a limited series with his daughter was turning into a zombie or something?
I didn't watch that, but yes.
And then
he's
there
done
was
a few things.
Yeah, and it's
he did
like,
that. What was the one where he was like a hitman? It was like it had dude from Taron Killam from SNL. Like it was this hitman movie. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, but people probably, I guess, aren't watching that because honestly, the people who want to watch Arnold are the guys who love him for Commando, and Predator.
I mean, let's be honest. Like Schwarzenegger, without his sort of milieu, his back catalog, his like the era that he came up, he's not a great actor.
No, you're not going to see like, oh my gosh. He's Schwarzenegger, like he's not, Anthony Hopkins or something like an older statesman actor.
Right, exactly. Like this is an action star. He had one job and he did it better than
big
anybody
muscles.
else.
Now he doesn't really have that anymore.
No, exactly.
So
yeah.
Now it's just nostalgia viewing.
Yeah, there is. And kids these days, I mean, like their nostalgia is for the 2000s, right?
Yeah,
it's not for the 80s.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, I mean,
so old.
Yeah, I know.
But we're not here to talk about our bitter old man feelings.
Shouts out clouds.
We're here to talk some more about Lethal Weapon 3. This is our third consecutive Lethal Weapon flick we've done here. I'm into it. There was some interesting perspective from Donner on the commentary for this disc where he said, in this franchise, he felt like the plots of the movies are kind of secondary just to the continuing evolution of the characters.
That's true.
I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, if you look at it that way, it's very unique in the action genre.
Oh, yeah. You
don't see a lot of like character arc in action movies. Like it's not like you watch a Rambo or watch Commando or Predator. And you're like, oh yeah, he's really changed as a person from the beginning to the end.
I mean, if anything, Rambo is less relevant over the course of the
movies.
He's
devolving.
He's devolving into nothing. Yeah.
And like, Rocky, I mean, would change from one movie to a next, like
with no continuity.
Very different. Yeah, but it wasn't like he was developing into an evolved human.
Right, because as we discussed with Rocky IV, each Rocky movie is just about Stallone at that point in his life. They're all kind of just autobiographical.
Even like a John McClane in a Die Hard movie, like he sort of just remains the same guy.
He does. I mean, the only thing that I would give for Die Hard with a Vengeance, at least, I can't. Die Hard. Live Free or Die Hard, I saw, and it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I didn't waste my time with the fifth one.
Yeah, what was that one? I don't know.
A Good Day to Die Hard.
Good Day to Die Hard, yes.
I didn't even waste my time with that one. but like at least up through with a Vengeance, if you ignore 2 and you just go from 1 to 3, I love the idea that if anything, his life has gotten worse because of the first movie, right?
Yeah.
He was this hero cop. He never wanted to be a hero, and it kind of burnt him out as a result.
The franchise would almost work better if it had been 1, then 3, then 2.
Exactly.
Because at the end of 3, was he trying to patch things up with the wife?
He was trying to get things back together.
And then in 2, they're together and things are kind of good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting perspective from Donner. It made me view this movie differently because this movie is not like the plot is not the strong suit of this one.
Yeah.
The way it was in the first 2 of this franchise had strong plots, and this one's just like scattershot.
I do think though that you made a good point in the last episode where the actual plot of this movie is Murtaugh's retirement.
That's true.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. Because it is the only through line that touches on basically every plot point of the movie.
Yes. Do you want to try to remind our listeners here what is going on?
I mean, the sum up is there's a bad guy.
Okay.
Yeah, but the actual like plot moments, Riggs and Murtaugh get demoted after Riggs does a cockamamie plan to defuse a bomb before the bomb squad gets there and ends up detonating it.
An entire building was demolished.
Just demolished because of them. And their only punishment is they're temporarily demoted to beat cops. But while as a beat cop, they stop a bank heist that's in progress. But this bank heist, one of the robbers, the 2 robbers, one of them who gets away, turns out he works for the big bad, Jack Travis, who owns a construction site building houses out in the desert somewhere.
Yeah.
But so then we cut back to the main story, and we've got Lorna. She shows up. She's IA. She's clearly a foil to Riggs, more than a match for him. They're wondering why she's there, and it turns out she's there because she wants to interrogate Billy, who is the armored car suspect that Riggs and Murtaugh apprehended. While this is going on, the big bad Jack Travis, he shows up to see Billy as well. He kills Billy before Lorna, Riggs and Murtaugh can go see him. Then they review the security tapes, see that it's Jack Travis, realize who it is. Leo, who at this point has now gone complete Hollywood and is a real estate guy, he shows up, say, hey, I know that guy. I saw him at a party with a monkey. I used to do things for him. And apparently the things that he would do for him is buy him hockey tickets. So they go to a hockey game. They smoke him out at the hockey game. A chase ensues. Leo is shot, but Travis gets away. And that's about where we're at.
Leo's okay, though.
Leo's okay. Leo survives. It's only a flesh wound, everybody. It's only a flesh wound.
Merely a flesh wound.
Yes.
Yeah. So later on, for reasons that aren't quite clear, Murtaugh has taken Riggs to like this hole-in-the-wall burger joint.
Right.
Because I guess you got to eat.
You got to eat at some point.
Sure. I'm sure a place like this is just absolutely got to be slinging the best burgers in Los Angeles.
I mean, that's my experience. Like,
yeah.
This is a bit of an aside, but like in LA, they always have these big letters A, B, C to tell you, like, if a restaurant has passed health inspection, but how good their passing was, right? And like generally speaking, the ones with the C ratings are the ones with the best food. You're also the ones that are most likely to get sick at, but it's going to taste the best while you're doing it.
So Murtaugh invites himself behind the counter to cook a burger for Riggs personally.
Mm-hmm.
If the owner of the diner looked familiar, it's because he played the detective at the beginning of Lethal Weapon 2, the one that like wanted to bet on the car chase.
Oh, really?
The older dude is like, he's like, no, I knew nothing about the wife's station wagon. Bets off.
Yeah.
So I like to imagine that it is the same character, and he's like retired, and this is his retirement.
I think that's great. I 100% am on board with this.
But so Riggs is like teasing Murtaugh, and Murtaugh is like, you're gonna love this burger, and he's like putting an apron on, he's like enjoying himself,
talking about the magic, the trick of doing a good burger.
Yeah, he's good. And he tells the owner, he's like, don't ignore Riggs, he's a comedian. He's like, and the guy gives one of my favorite jokes in the movie, which is, oh yeah, when's he gonna say something funny? Which is great. Now Riggs, he tries to ask the guy if he can smoke the last bit of his cigarette. But Murtaugh grabs the cigarette away from Riggs and like hands him a raw onion and is like, here, chew on that. and Riggs just takes a bite out of that shit like it's an apple.
Yeah.
Which I really don't like raw onion, so that like gives me the heebie-jeebies, like to watch someone just bite one.
Yeah.
So Murtaugh starts explaining the process of making a good burger, and he's like, he's right when he's like, you got to have like a fatty blend
nice and fatty.
to make a good burger. 100% correct. So meanwhile, though, Riggs spots a shady-looking transaction going down.
Which is like the third time in this movie that we've had this setup.
But it's like his ADHD. Like anytime he looks around, he's just seeing crimes happening, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But there's a shady deal going down. There's some gangbanger types in a red car. So Riggs starts creeping over there towards danger, doesn't tell Murtaugh he's leaving. This appears to be like a porta potty storage facility.
There's so many porta potties here.
Exactly where you'd want to have your hamburger stand.
Yeah, right.
So Riggs, though, he's hiding behind a porta potty. He sees this very obvious drug deal going down. It's like this movie's obvious crime because we get one in every movie. There's just like a guy just holding a bag of white powder up.
I know.
So Riggs pops out with his badge and his gun. He tells him, you're all under arrest. Get your hands where I can see them. But suddenly there's a person in the back seat of the car, pokes a machine gun out and just starts shooting.
Yeah.
So Riggs takes shelter behind the porta potty. Murtaugh hears the gunshots, comes running, screaming, Riggs! The whole way. We forgot to mention that in the plot synopsis. Murtaugh just screams Riggs out a lot in this movie. So the gangbangers, though, they're scattering in all directions. Somebody whacks Riggs in the back of the head with like a 2x4, knocks him silly. Murtaugh arrives. He makes sure Riggs is okay. He pokes his head around the corner, but immediately he's like jumps back because some unseen gangbangers like just shooting wildly from inside this metal shed. So when that shooting stops, Murtaugh pops out and he empties his clip into the shed. And he empties the clip and then suddenly he's got a revolver in his hand.
So I was looking
he
at
is
this.
carrying two guns,
He's
right?
carrying two guns, and I've got a note here. It's like, oh shoot, like he's not carrying his revolver anymore. He's got a semi-automatic pistol. But then he reaches in. He's got his semi-automatic pistol on a hip holster, and then his revolver on a shoulder holster.
Which he kind of had that going in part 2.
Yeah,
and it's weird because you could also just carry the semi and some extra magazines.
Right.
You just can't weird to carry
revolver.
two guns. I guess that's what it is.
I was reading, and I don't know how true this is, but apparently the semi-automatic pistol he kept from when they were beat cops. So like that was the police issued weapon when they had been demoted, and he just kept that weapon.
The revolver is like
that's his like detective weapon or something. Yeah.
I guess you're less likely to get into a shootout.
Yeah.
In the detective role.
I guess so.
I suppose.
Yeah. I mean,
these guys get into shootouts everywhere they go,
constantly, right. It's just a matter of course.
It is nuts.
Yeah.
But Murtaugh has emptied his gun. He's approaching the shed. This wounded figure comes crawling out and collapses. And Murtaugh kicks the gun away from the guy, rolls him over. It's like this young black dude. He removes the guy's sunglasses like very dramatically and recognizes him. It's his son's friend, Daryl.
Yeah.
At first, I thought maybe it was Nick. Like, I thought that's a direction they could have gone.
Well, I thought...
was that, oh my gosh, Nick is running with these gangbangers now.
Yeah. That's where I thought they were going too, because again, I'd forgotten so much of this movie. So when Riggs gets hit in the back of the head and they make such a point of not showing who did it, I thought Nick was doing that to protect his friend Daryl.
If that was ever a plot point, they wrote it out or
completely
edited it out.
Yeah.
But, so Murtaugh immediately starts trying to do CPR on the kid. Riggs is, he's telling Riggs to call for an ambulance. Riggs comes over and he's like, it's too late. The guy's dead. And Murtaugh keeps trying to revive him. And he's like saying like, oh my God, don't do this to me. And it's a hard scene to watch because Danny Glover like is really making you feel it. But Riggs is like urging him to stop. He's like, hey, don't mess with the body. Which always struck me as like a really authentic like cop thing to say is like, we don't want to disturb. Like, you don't want him to have now he's got bruises all over him.
Right. And then,
there's a whole other thing you got to worry about. But Riggs tells him, it's okay. It was a clean shooting. Our lives were in danger. I guess Riggs is not aware that Murtaugh knows who this is at this moment.
Yeah, I guess
maybe not yet.
I find it totally believable because Riggs has never met this kid before in his life.
Yeah.
And his only interaction with him was that very brief moment in on
Yeah,
the
he
street
saw him
from
from-
like 50
Yeah.
feet away. So yeah, I totally buy that.
But so Murtaugh's like, no, it's not okay. I know this kid. And then it cuts to back at the Murtaugh house. It's dinner time. The youngest daughter, Carrie, is wearing like her best pro-choice T-shirt,
Yeah,
which on the commentary, the guy who did it with Donner is like asking him, did the studio ever give you did they ever say anything about all the political shit?
yeah.
And he said, nope, they never gave a bit of feedback about that, which is
Great.
like,
take advantage of it.
as
then.
long as you're making hits,
Yeah.
I guess the studio doesn't care.
They'll let you do whatever you want.
But so yeah, the phone rings. It's Riggs. He's calling to check on Murtaugh. Trish tells him he's not home. And we don't hear it, but I guess it appears as though Riggs tells him,
Mhm.
that he shot this kid Daryl, a
That's what I
friend of
presume.
Nick's.
Yeah.
Because she seems to be staring at Nick while he's telling him this stuff. So later on, it's dusk. We see Murtaugh pulls up in front of his house. He's wiping tears away from his eyes, and he starts to get out of the car, but he just, I guess, can't bring himself to face his family. Then he gets back in the car, drives off. For me, this is the subplot for me that really saves the movie, because this one has some real emotion behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So now the next day, Riggs is in the squad room. He's teasing that expendable rookie.
Scene 2 of 3.
character.
Yeah.
A subtle reminder that this piece of cannon fodder is still here.
Oh my God.
Captain Murphy approaches along with the psychologist. She's back, Mary Ellen Trainor.
Yeah, gets a couple of lines in this one too.
There's some weird shit happening in the background of this scene.
Oh, yeah.
Where she's sneezing for some reason. She keeps
That's right.
sneezing.
Yep.
And there's another one of these nameless detectives who's just stuffing his face with donuts. He's got a huge box of donuts and he comes walking through and he's wolfing
I totally
him.
missed that.
Wolfing him down. It's
oh
bizarre.
my God, that's hilarious.
But so the captain asks how Murtaugh's doing, and Riggs is like, oh, he's fine. The psychologist is like, I'm sure he's anything but fine. And Riggs is insisting that he's doing okay, even though he hasn't even talked to Murtaugh.
Yeah. No, he hasn't.
But, she says she'd like to talk to him. Once again, she's doing her exact job.
Right. I know.
Showing concern and compassion, and they're treating her like she's a nuisance.
Well, I mean, in the 90s, therapy was still considered woo-woo, right?
It's for weak
it's for
men.
weak men, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, of course that they're treating her this way, right? Because it's I'm not going to be caught dead going to therapy.
I'll just work
I'll
my
tough
way
it
through
out.
it.
Yeah.
I'll just drink my way through
right.
it.
I mean, that's what boomers do, right? And so,
Yeah. That's my dad anyway.
yeah, well.
So, but Riggs is I think the best thing we can do is just leave him alone.
Yeah.
Which is terrible
No,
advice.
that's literally the worst advice.
But so then the captain steers the psychologist away. I think we're supposed to agree with Riggs, but he's very wrong.
He's so wrong. I know.
He's very wrong. So then Lorna's there. She's saying, "Hey, Riggs, we got to talk." This has all been one long continuous
Yeah.
shot, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Riggs is I can't be seen talking to IA. It's going to be a bad look for me.
which is true.
So he steers her into the men's room and he's like, "Here, step into my orifice," which is a bizarre pun. But so we get a cameo from the bomb squad
Yeah.
guy from part 2,
Whose
the
name
toilet
has
bomb.
changed.
Yeah, he had a different name, which
Yeah,
is weird.
Jarvis now instead of what? Becker?
Becker?
Becker? Yeah.
I don't know, but
I mean, I could assume that his name is actually Jarvis Becker.
absolutely. Let's go with that.
I think that's totally reasonable. But yeah, I can't believe they
He
got
got him
that guy
back?
back for one line of dialogue. Yeah.
So he teases Riggs. He's cutting any wrong wires lately, talking about the bomb
Yep.
from the open.
Yeah.
And they're pissing next to each other or whatever. So then Lorna and Riggs get down to business. She's mad basically that he withheld a lead on Travis, which I guess is that he might be at a hockey game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. But
That's really all he knows.
That's really all he knows, right?
And that even felt like a long shot.
Right, exactly. So the fact that he was there was just once again one of the many coincidences of this movie. So
But she's telling him, you're required to tell me everything you know regarding this investigation. And she gives him a shove in the back, which seemed to result in him pissing all over himself.
yeah,
So
I do love that she's not phased at all
no,
by other men being in the bathroom. This again goes back to her character, and they
yeah, she's a
explain
tough
it.
chick.
Yeah, they do.
She's used to playing in the boys'
right,
world
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah,
But Mel Gibson did a great sort of annoyed face. Then he gets real aggressive, I felt towards her, and starts calling her sweetie and gets real misogynistic in a way that
a little bit out of character for him.
out of character,
honestly.
and she seemed rattled, and I don't know if she was acting or if she was startled by
Yeah.
how how aggressive, how intense he was coming at her.
And this is also one of those moments where his American accent drops. And
oh yeah,
I mean, it's not as bad as 2, but there are moments in this movie where he forgets that he's supposed to be playing an American, and this is definitely one of them.
So he's like, look, this is schoolyard rules. If you don't scratch my back, I don't throw you the ball. And she is saying like, I can't share this information with you. The details are classified, which really pisses Riggs off. He starts screaming at her that we're on the same side. He's, saying, while we're dicking around, these kids are out here killing each other on the street. He starts to talk about what happened with Murtaugh, but Lorna says, I already know about it, and I'm really sorry. And I would imagine, word got back to IA pretty quick.
Pretty fast.
Well, that's why, like, did you hear about Riggs and Murtaugh?
Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck me.
They've killed again.
Yeah. Another body in the list. Yeah.
But her saying this seems to, like, sort of take Riggs down a notch. It was actually, like, I thought great work from Mel Gibson because you could sort of see, like, the crazy go out of his eyes. Mm-hmm. He, like, sort of catches his breath and slows down. And, he's like telling her now, like, I really want to help you if you'll just let me help you. And he like offers his hand to shake his piss-soaked hand.
Which he does intentionally.
Yeah. And she's like, wash your hands and like meet me in my office or whatever. So a short time later, they're in Lorna's office. She's got the machine gun from the Murtaugh shooting there. She starts telling Riggs all about the gun. And at this time, like, this type of gun was like proliferating everywhere.
The 9mm, like the Uzis.
The Uzis and machine guns. This was like just before Bill Clinton like did the ban on assault weapons or whatever. So she's like, this gun was used in several shootings a couple years ago. It was seized by the police, scheduled for destruction. Riggs is like really checking her out.
Yeah.
At this time, like, this is the only. So he's like giving her the up and down, and then sort of like, and I had read, as you did, I think this was the only movie in the franchise where like they never reference Riggs's dead wife at all.
Yep.
He is still wearing the wedding ring though throughout the film.
Yep.
But so she tells him, the gun is now turned up again in the hands of a teenager who shot it at police officers. You and Murtaugh.
Yeah.
She says this gun and 15,000 others like it, and like
tons of ammunition.
They were stolen from a LAPD storage facility before they were to be destroyed.
Boom. And finally, we're starting to understand what the actual like criminal plot is here.
I did notice like Riggs sort of plops down and puts his feet up on the desk like he's just man-spreading all over her office, like
he's trying to
asserting my dominance here.
Exactly.
So she's like, we recovered these cop killer bullets from the guns from the armored car heist. When you did that, you stumbled on a secret that we've been trying to keep quiet. So Riggs is like, deduces, you're investigating because you think it's an inside job.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, it pretty much had to be. All the signs pointed to it being a cop or an ex-cop. And they're like, Travis. Yeah. And then she's like, and you let him slip through your fingers. And he says, well, that's closer than you ever got. Yeah, fair. And then she says, close is a lingerie shop without a front window. Riggs is confused.
Apparently, Rene Russo improv that line.
I'm confused. It seems like it means something, but I don't know if...
They never explain it.
I guess it means if there were windows, you'd be seeing some titties right now, but
I guess
you're not.
Yeah.
So you think you're close, but you're not really that close.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Lorna then asks Riggs, you want to come on a ride with me? And he says, where? She's like, it's a surprise. And Riggs is just like, at this point, smitten. He's like, oh, I love surprises.
This has turned from rivalry into a love affair.
But yeah, he's quickly gone from like, I hate this woman to I want to bone this woman.
So bad. Yeah.
So they arrive at this nondescript like office building. Riggs is like, where are we? Lorna says, she accessed Billy Phelps's phone records and he made 12 calls to this office. So Riggs is like, oh, nice of you to steal that information. And then she's like, semantics, Riggs. And he says, semantics? I'm always up for semantics, which is like more the wordplay shit.
Yeah, more puns. Yeah.
Lorna gets out her little lock picking set,
which
starts picking locks. And I'm like, this is very illegal.
Anything you do after this point is inadmissible in court.
Well, it was silly because he's like, oh, you stole his phone records. And it's like, she could easily subpoena this.
Right.
I don't know if she did steal it or went around warrants, but there's no reason to do that.
Right, exactly.
You busted this guy. You could easily get his phone records.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like they would easily get a warrant for this place.
Yes, absolutely. There's literally you subpoena his phone records. You see all the calls to
You
this
call
address.
This place,
immediately get a
judge,
warrant, and
we want a warrant to go see what this place
you
is.
could probably done it in an afternoon. Fuck, I don't know, but it wouldn't take that long.
It would have been straightforward.
Yeah, very straightforward.
But so Lorna's like, okay, we're going to enter on 3. And then there's the good
like, what do you mean,
callback
like
where
on 2 or
Riggs
on 3?
On 3 or 1, 2, 3, then go.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, what? He's like, oh, never mind. 1, 2, 3, go.
So that was good. I like that.
They burst in. The place seems empty until they encounter this giant Rottweiler, which was like shades of The Omen, another Donner flick, and Donner like referenced that when he was watching. He's like, this is just like The Omen. It was like it was like
movie.
He's watching it for the first time. It's crazy. But so Lorna is very nervous about the dog. Like she was ready to shoot it.
Yeah, and Reese goes, "You can't shoot a dog.
You can't shoot
People
a dog.
Are fine.
People fine.
Yeah.
Not a dog." So Riggs, he's like drops down on all fours and starts crawling towards the dog. He makes these various dog noises and like cocking his head one way and the other. And the dog seems confused. And then he pulls out some of those Chekhov's dog biscuits. Thank God he had dog biscuits this whole time. And he makes friends with the dog. He like sort of whispers to Lorna. He's like, you just back away and leave. He's like, this is a guy sort of thing. It's crazy. But so now, an indeterminate amount of time later,
how long he was in there with that dog.
Riggs alone comes wandering into the garage where there's like a bunch of henchmen doing henchman shit, like loading crates.
Why is every surface silver at this location?
They said, Donner said, like, it was just a generic garage, and like Jan de Bont or someone was like, what if we just rolled aluminum foil all over the walls just to make it visually interesting?
Okay.
I mean, I guess it was.
I mean, it was certainly visually interesting.
It's kind of like what I imagine the inside of RFK's house looking like. Just like tin foil everywhere.
Maybe it was a giant Faraday cage, and they're like, oh, cell phones don't really exist that
It was
much.
how like Better Call Saul, how like the brother was living.
No, I haven't seen Better Call Saul.
Oh, you didn't watch Better Call Saul? It's solid. It's solid.
I didn't like Breaking Bad, so I didn't follow.
Okay, then you won't like that. But it was a weird edit because it's like, where the fuck is Lorna?
Where are they? Yeah.
You've just left her. I don't know where she is. No one knows. But Riggs, like the henchmen are doing all the like video game henchmen shit. Like they're just carrying crates around.
It's like, why are we moving one box to the other location? I don't know. We just were told to do it.
But so Riggs, he walks right into the middle of the garage, completely unseen.
I don't know why he does this so many times over the course of this movie.
He knows he's like bulletproof at this point.
Yeah, apparently,
right?
I guess, yeah.
But he just announces his presence. He's like, hey, what's in these boxes? And then like sort of raises his pistol up and has his badge out or whatever. It's kind of like a great line reading, I thought, because I love the flat, funny delivery made it funny.
Yeah, sure. I agree, but I also love that in this movie in particular, there are so many badge flashes, and they like it's almost like the badge has some sort of magical property
It's
where
gonna shield me.
if you flash it in front of the bad guys, they go like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
They would never kill me.
They would
now.
never, right? But if you flash in front of the good guys, anything that you do after that point, they just take on faith that is accurate.
But so the henchman though suddenly pops up from behind and smashes Riggs' arm with a crowbar, and he drops the gun, which would be an instant broken arm for a normal human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then this big henchman, this Sven Ole Thorsen again, he's there. He grabs Riggs and throws him down, and he goes like sliding across the floor head first into this metal beam. It's like ding when he hits it or whatever. And now they've got Riggs dead to rights. They got him pinned up against this metal post, like forearm across his throat. The leader, which is this like well-dressed goon, he wants to figure out who Riggs is before they kill him. This guy's been in like a lot of our flicks that we've done on the podcast.
Really?
He was in Con Air. He was Billy Bedlam.
Oh, this is the guy.
And he was also in Eraser and in Training Day.
Yeah. So this guy is the other henchman I was telling you about, who was in the X-Files. Okay. He played a serial killer in the season 2 episode of the X-Files called Irresistible. He played Donnie Faster. It's one of the classic X-Files episodes.
Okay.
Because it's the first time where it's not supernatural at all.
Mhm.
It's the first episode where Gillian Anderson returned to the show after having her kid. So Dana Scully has just come back onto
It's not the
active
one with like
duty.
abducted little girls and the patches of fabric.
No. That's Paper Hearts. That's
Okay.
season 4, and that's with the bald actor who died just a couple of weeks ago, actually. But no, this is earlier. So Scully gets back on the force, and then of course is immediately kidnapped because Scully is always kidnapped. And yeah, so like I saw him, I'm like, oh my god, another person for the X-Files.
Well, this dude has like a lot of charisma,
Oh, yeah,
like
he's great.
screen presence. It's
Oh, yeah.
surprising he didn't have like a bigger career. I do think he's still like doing stuff, but
Yeah,
he
he's
just
still
never
acting, yeah.
he never made it beyond like the featured
Well, he's got a great voice too.
character actor.
Yeah.
But so they got Riggs pinned up against the pole. He's like struggling. He's like, "You have the right to remain silent," which is like hilarious. Riggs, though, then he sees Lorna peeking out from around a corner, and the well-dressed goon, he finds Riggs's badge. He's like, "So, Sergeant Riggs, how did you find us?" At that moment, Lorna pops out. She's like, "Freeze, police!" And the guy turns around and is like, "Oh, another one?" He's like, "We need a new fucking dog."
Which is a great line.
Great line,
Yeah.
great reading.
Yeah.
Lorna tells him, "Get your hands up." And they all like reluctantly raise their hands. But then suddenly another like just beefed up henchman is behind her with a gun in her back. He's like, "Drop it, miss." This dude had a look like rock and mullet, big like bomber jacket, like an 8-ball jacket, you know, or something
Yeah,
like leather
yeah.
jacket. So Lorna drops her gun. The bad guys now have the upper hand, or do they? Because Lorna sort of flashes a grin at Riggs and just shrugs. And she whips around and knocks the gun away from that dude and like just proceeds to kick the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
She's got skills. Next, Sven Ole Thorsen's coming at her. She kicks him in the cock with like roundhouses him in the head.
I appreciate, because like this is something that they teach women in self-defense classes, is go for the cock, like as fast as you can, just take out his junk, right? Like,
Absolutely.
and it's just like, yes, it's totally accurate. You should be doing that.
I mean, R.I.P. to Sven Ole Thorsen's balls because
Yeah.
he like walked right into
Oh my
it.
God. It was almost
Brutal.
like comic. He almost like jumped up in the air.
Brutal. Riggs then, so he starts thrashing the two guys that are closest to him. He had some sick moves too. He like headbutted this one guy up under his chin and stuff.
Oh yeah. That was a great. I thought that choreography was phenomenal.
It's like ready for him to ram someone's nose into their brain.
Yeah.
Go with that one. But so Riggs still's got some moves. Lorna, though, she hops into the cab of this like loaded up pickup truck, kicks the driver out the other door. She cranks up the truck, throws it in reverse, and like rams into one of the dudes that was engaging Riggs. So she starts to drive out. Riggs like tries to dive into the bed of the truck, but he's too slow. And then he's like chasing after, like, wait up. She stops. He jumps in. He like is like kisses the back windshield and he's like, "Sergeant Cole," and kisses the windshield. So the leader, he opens fire, shooting at the truck, hits the back windshield and shoots it out. Lorna like drives right through this big garage door, and all of a sudden she's out on the street. The henchman, the well-dressed dude, is like telling everyone, "Get those cases and kill that dog." And he chases out onto the street, keeps shooting. The Rottweiler comes running out and like runs up his back, sort of, and takes him down.
It was a good stunt.
It was nice trick from the dog.
Yeah.
Running after the truck. So Riggs is telling Lorna to slow down.
Which is like call back to
Part two.
Part two.
Yeah. The dog jumps into the truck. They keep on driving. And he's like, "Where'd you learn to fight like that?" And she's like, "Catholic school."
Good line.
So she floors it, and like a crate falls off the back of the truck and busts open. It's full of guns. They have a little more banter where Riggs is like, "It's full of guns." And she's like, "Well, grab one." He's like, "You grab one." And she floors it, drives on. The goons are left behind to like pick up the pieces or whatever. So later on, Tyrone is on the phone with Travis, his well-dressed goon. Sounds very worried. Tyrone is like this just ineffectual middleman character.
Right, who doesn't go anywhere, who doesn't do anything really.
He's of zero importance to the plot of the movie. He's Did you notice like Tyrone just randomly is like holding an American Express like a credit card near his, he's just holding a credit card near his face, and I'm like, is that a product placement? Like, what is
weird.
that?
No, I didn't notice
It
that.
was bizarre. The whole scene, he's holding a little like a gold Amex card next to his face.
I don't know. I must have been writing notes down. I must have missed it.
I don't know. But he says, the cops are all over your ass. He's like, they got the guns. Next, they're going to be coming for me. I want out. Travis grabs the phone away from the well-dressed goon and is like, if you try to back out, I'll make sure only your dentist can identify the body.
Mm-hmm.
The Tyrone says, look, I'm out of business unless you can like supply me with more ammo. I need the good stuff. And Travis assures him you're going to get it. The well-dressed goon says to Travis, looks like it's time to pay another visit to the LAPD.
Uh-oh.
So elsewhere, Lorna has taken Riggs back to her home, this massive house for like a single income
Absolutely
civil servant
huge.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But Riggs is like stroking that big Rottweiler dog, and he's sort of feeling the wound on the back of his head. He asks her if she's got anything that he can put on his head, and she's like, "Yeah, there's a hat in the closet."
More banter.
Yeah.
Good banter.
They sort of sparring back and forth as she's like belittling his injury. She disappears into another room, and he's like starts to wander around and look around, and she pops in and is like, "Don't touch anything." And she's like one step ahead of him at every moment. But so like outmaneuvered once again, he's like a tantrum throwing child. He's like just starts smacking her keyboard and wandering on. And this is where there's an insanely out of place no smoking sign on her on her mantle in her house. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Why do you have that there? The game that's on the computer screen is a real game.
I kind of remember this one.
It's an Activision game. The Three Stooges Activision game was on PC.
Did it like run
Genesis
off a floppy disk?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, at that point in time in '92. Yeah. I mean,
I kind of remember someone playing. I remember playing this game, or a friend had it.
Yeah, I mean, like CD as the primary format for games really wouldn't come into play for another couple of years, because like think about it, Doom was in '93.
Okay.
Right. So yes, this is absolutely, and Doom was on floppy. So
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. This would have been on floppy disk still. Yeah.
But yes, this Three Stooges video game pops up. Mel Gibson sees it. He's like, "Boys?"
Yeah.
Lorna comes running in like embarrassed. He's like, "I told you not to touch anything." And she like sort of swats his hand away from the computer. And she's like, "What are you, a wise guy?" Like she's full Three Stooges mode. He like accuses her of, "You don't want to share your toys." And she's like, "This is not a toy, it's a weapon." And he's like, "Oh, what do you do? Throw it at people? It's pretty heavy." And he's like, sit down. You're going to give yourself a hernia.
Yeah.
Like the banter is good.
It's like coming so fast.
The flirting, continues.
I've got to believe that like this banter was where Carrie Fisher came in.
Yeah.
Because this is the most clever dialogue in the whole movie, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Originally, because there was no Lorna character. It was like the younger male cop who was like the young version of Riggs or something, I think we mentioned before.
Yeah. And like, rumor has it Carrie Fisher came in when they decided to turn her into a female character and make her more of the the paramour for Riggs, that they brought in Carrie Fisher to ghostwrite all of her dialogue.
And like she nailed it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, there was not meant to be like a love interest, but like this antagonizing younger cop or whatever. But yeah, somewhere in the process that changed, and now we got Lorna. So she sort of shoves him down on this chair, and they give each other a look, and like it's very clear
we know that they're about to fuck.
They're definitely gonna fuck.
Oh yeah.
But so she starts checking the wound on Riggs' scalp. She's like laughing at how minor it is. She starts to clean the wound, and she discovers like another scar there on his head. And she's like, "What is that, a knife?" And he's like, "Oh no, an axe. Some guy mistook my head for a log."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, that's a natural mistake." And it's like Princess Leia and Han Solo.
Han Solo. Yeah,
for sure. But she's like rolls up her sleeve, and she shows Riggs her knife scar. And now they're just doing the scene from Jaws.
Which, when I saw this movie, I hadn't seen Jaws.
Okay.
And so I thought this was so clever. And then, I don't know how this happened, but then I saw Chasing Amy before I saw Jaws. And in Chasing Amy, they do a similar bit, but it's wounds from sexual encounters.
Right, yeah.
Right? And I'm like, oh, they're parodying
it's like,
We'll
drink to our legs.
Yeah. And
how did you get this far in life without seeing Jaws,
I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't know how it happened.
Okay.
But anyway, someone pointed out to me, "Is like, no, that's not from Lethal Weapon 3. That's from Jaws.
It's all from Jaws,
right?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What?" And then like that, getting that reference wrong in Chasing Amy is what spurred me to watch Jaws. Somehow,
Were you blown away?
I was blown away. Yeah, I mean, Jaws is an amazing.
How old
movie.
would you have been at that point?
Chasing Amy
Was this when you were on your like AFI?
This was on
500
when
or
I was on my
whatever?
AFI journey.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had discovered Kevin Smith right around the same time as I was
Yeah.
doing this, and so yeah, it absolutely coincides.
Kevin
with
Smith
all
is
of that.
definitely that like gateway drug
Yes.
to like becoming a film head.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Because I mean, he loves movies.
Yeah.
I mean, his
you
movies
gotta
are
watch Tarantino. You gotta watch
uneven.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
it's all that.
But he loves.
You gotta watch
cinema,
John
so.
Woo Hong Kong flicks.
Oh yeah. Oof. God, I love Hard Boiled and The Killer, two of the greatest action movies of all time.
But yeah, they're here. They're comparing scars. Riggs sees another scar, which she says, "Oh yeah, that's I got dragged by a car." And then Riggs pulls his shirt up to show this like big road rash
Yeah.
scar on his side, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is a moving truck." And Lorna's like, "Moving truck?" He's like, "How about a moving bullet?" And sort of pulls her shirt to the side and shows where she had like had this through and through wound out like on her shoulder right
Yeah.
above her like collarbone or whatever. And then he's like, "What is that, a 22?" And she's like, "That's a 38, Riggs." And she's like, "Oh, that's a pretty wimpy 38."
Yeah.
He's like, "Now this is a 38." And she's like, "What, yours is bigger than mine?" And he's like, "Well, maybe not." But look at this. And then he pulls his shirt off to reveal he's like, "I got this whole family of 44s." And supposedly that was where he
From
got
Lethal
shot
Weapon 2.
by Rudd
Yeah.
in 2. Which, if so, an ungodly accurate grouping
Oh
from
my
Rudd,
God. I
the
know.
70-year-old South African man,
Shooting from
like 100 yards away.
100 yards away with a pistol.
Nuts.
Yeah.
So, but Lorna's like very impressed by that injury, which absolutely should have been fatal.
Would have killed the lesser man.
Yeah. So Lorna shows off her best, which is like a shotgun wound she had to her side, and Riggs is equally impressed. It's like it's a little disturbing how horny this is making both of them.
I know, but
It's
also
like
it's not surprising.
It's like a Cronenberg movie
yeah,
or something.
yeah,
Like
it's almost like Videodrome a
they're
little bit.
getting off
or
on
as
each-
extends.
each other's scars.
Yeah.
Riggs is so hot. He's like gone full Australian.
I mean, his shirt's already off.
His accent
his
is gone
is-
as well.
Oh yeah, totally speaking like an Aussie, not even making an attempt to speak with like an American.
So Riggs starts like unbuckling his pants, and he's like, "Hold on, let me show you something." And he's like, he talks about the knife wound, which has got
which
to be
is
also Lethal
from
Weapon
Lethal Weapon 2. Yeah.
And Lorna starts walking away. She's like, I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it, Riggs.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, you started this." And she's like, "And I can end it."
Yeah.
And Riggs is like, you just admit that you lost. And she's like, "No, I didn't lose. I conceded." She's like, "There's a difference between losing and conceding." He's like, "I conceded." And he's like, "You conceded or you're conceited?" Which is like really good writing.
It's a good line. Yeah.
They stare at each other for like a long beat. And she's like, "I'm going to go get you a bandage." And he grabs her and they start making out. And Riggs thinks he's in trouble. He's like, "You're going to hit me, aren't you?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "I can do better than that." And she like sweeps his leg and takes him down to the ground and jumps on him. And they're going at it.
I mean, look, if I looked like Mel Gibson, I would probably fuck every woman that I met after 3 hours as well. But really, Mel, come
yeah.
on.
Yeah. So they're going at it on the floor. The dog is there, not into it.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
yeah.
like Shades
100%.
of 2.
Yeah, and it like
where the
rolls
dog-
over.
But like Riggs sort of comments that like, "Oh, this is an ethical breach. We shouldn't be doing this."
Yeah.
And I thought it would be wild if like the whole seduction had just been a scheme to get her fired.
Oh, that would have
Like,
been something else.
She took advantage of me.
Look, I even have it on tape. Her saying that she started it.
She coerced me into sex. Fire her. No, that's not where it is.
That's not where it goes.
Do you think this is Riggs' like first encounter since 2? Since Rika?
I have a dark mind. I feel like he's taken a trip to Vegas at least once or
Okay.
twice.
He's been fucking around. He went to like the whatever the sugar,
bunny ranch,
the bunny ranch,
or whatever. I mean, I don't think he's had a relationship since what's her face.
I mean, he could pull as many girls as he wanted.
Yeah, I know. He
The
doesn't need to pay
mullet,
for it.
The
Yeah.
mullet's
Oh
just
my God.
flowing in the wind.
Yeah, that's right. What an epic mullet. There's so many scenes. When we get to the motorcycle race, his mullet is just
just flapping in the
the
wind.
true star of the show.
But that will have to wait
Yes.
Until another week, dear listeners.
Yes.
I think this is a good place to take a pause,
I think so.
catch our breath,
I think so.
pour a fresh beer.
That's right. Get a nice cold one ready to go.
Yeah.
Find some more Klaus shout out.
Yeah. So until then, check us out on the social media. Tell your friends. Listen to, what else should they be listening to? The Director's Chair Network that our boy Ryan's running.
Retro Made Podcast.
Check out Retro Made Podcast from Katie, not to be confused with Eric's girl Katie.
Yeah, this is different Katie.
The totally different Katie, equally cool and amazing podcast.
We've done a few shows with her. She's awesome.
Absolutely. So yeah, check that shit out, and check us out next week when we're back with the penultimate
Oh, my
episode
God.
on Lethal Weapon 3. And until then,
We'll be back.